Hello traders, this is Rich from tradesight. This is a look at our major ETFs via our proprietary scans that are delivered to us from eSignal via the Q-Link add-on that gives us real-time data. The majors were fairly benign and really didn't have much of a net change for the day. What we do have though is we've got a condition here where we've got fairly light volume, had a little bit of a bounce back in the diamonds. You can see the relative strength here, closed a little bit above the open while the others were mostly lower, but that was after some relative weakness throughout the week. So for this coming Monday, let's take a look at the individual sectors and focus on those. The sectors are fairly well paired off here, so we don't really have a bias. We've got a couple of buys and a couple of sells, and they're kind of just mitigating each other. We do have one little condition here. We're going to have a big dark body candle in the XLB because we're about 1.3% below the open. So definitely a distribution day there. None of the others are really sticking out because nothing with the signal has any kind of a volume bump. Looking at the commodities, a couple things are definitely noteworthy here. SLV was weak again on increased volume, 1.3% below the open and decently below the day's VWAP. The UNG taking a bounce after some weakness earlier in the week. That was 1.5% above the VWAP, so that's a pretty strong close on decent volume. Not outstanding volume, but definitely better than what we've seen. Gold stocks were also fairly weak. You can see the GDX here, 3.5% below the open, starting to get very oversold now. Almost 1% below the VWAP. But you can see the volume starting to dry up here a little bit. We don't have that climactic volume, so perhaps a gap down on Monday would be worth looking at, and a break back over the 5-minute high. That's something I'm going to be looking at. Now the foreign stuff, a little bit better to buy. We've got a buy signal in the EWU, pretty strong session, 0.5% above the open and nicely above the VWAPs. Pretty much the same condition here in the EWG, which tracks just the German stocks, but both of these again are on a little bit late volume, so definitely going to take that with a little bit of caution if we're going to be playing those again next week. And finally onto the specials, nothing really sticking out here. A little bit biased to the downside. We've got a sell here on the longs, and a couple of buys on the shorts. So a little bit skewed to the downside, but nothing really sticking out. And as you can see here, we don't really have any particular volume bumps. All right, well, good luck this coming week. As always, thanks for listening. This has been Rich for tradesight.